bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello. I welcome you to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and this is week 10 in my journey for overcoming PTSD through therapy. Okay, well, if this is your first time joining us, be sure and visit the first video where I introduced how I was diagnosed with PTSD and got started on this journey. And be sure and watch the previous videos to get all caught up because I'm going to start from the last time. So it's been a couple of weeks since my last video on this subject, and that first week of the past 2 weeks I was supposed to focus on trust. So I did kind of the challenging worksheet type questions to myself on different stuck points that I had. You know, the ones that we wrote down with my therapist, that I wrote down from the very beginning that I was supposed to work through and overcome. And so the ones that involve trust, I worked through those. And the first one was people can't be trusted. And so I put some of those challenging thoughts were that it's realistic, or basically the challenging thoughts section, I just wrote where I am now on the subject. So I didn't go through all those different questions that I did on all the other worksheets. I really just put how I'm responding as a result of therapy, how things have changed for me regarding these different stuck points. So for people can't be trusted, that one I wrote, that's realistic on a healthy level. We all fall short, so we are going to let ourselves and others down from time to time. We can't trust each other all the time and in everything. We can't always foresee when or how someone is going to betray that trust. This would be problematic, the thoughts would be problematic if I no longer had any trust in anyone at all, or if I decided never to trust anyone. Instead, I have decided to be reasonable and understanding in my expectations and to set certain boundaries when I can. So that's what I wrote in response to that stuck point at this point in my life. Okay, the next one was you never know who will harm you. Oh, and I should let you know that these aren't really the exact words of some of the stuck points, but these were some that she had on this survey that I had to do when I first started therapy, and then I had to do it again at this point to see what my percentage was of those beliefs. And so any belief that was above a certain percentage, I think it was like 50%, then I had to work through those. And so these in particular are the ones involving trust. So this one is you never know who will harm you. And so I wrote, no one knows anyone fully. We are all capable of just about anything given the circumstances. That goes for physical and emotional harm. Some people are certainly far less likely to harm you given your history with them, but all are capable. These are healthy thoughts as long as I am not going around expecting people to hurt me or avoiding relationships to prevent being hurt. You know who is less likely to hurt you because you have developed a level of trust. Okay. The next one was this world is a dangerous place. And I put, this is a true statement. There are dangers everywhere, but I'm not afraid to go outside, drive a car, fly in an airplane, or stay married because it's a risk. Life is full of risks. These aren't problematic thoughts as long as I am willing to mitigate the risks, or take the risk and mitigate them. Okay. Next one is I can't stop bad things from happening to me. I am not afraid. This thought only applies to things you can't foresee or prevent. So I have accepted that you can't control everything that happens in life, and some bad things are going to happen to you. These aren't problematic patterns as long as I don't take responsibility for things beyond my control. And then I got a couple more. This one is people are not what they seem. And I put in parentheses, this is often true in some respects, but also everyone has a past. So sometimes that can be frustrating. It can take years to learn some negative, hurtful things about someone, and sometimes even about yourself. It takes time to get to know some people, and others are an open book right out the gate. Sometimes people are brighter than you thought, and some are darker. These aren't problematic thoughts as long as I am not too fearfully cautious or in a rush, one extreme or the other. The next one was, I feel like I don't know myself anymore. So I've spent over 20 years responding negatively to a traumatic experience. It's like there's a new frontier I need to explore now. I'm not sure if I'm going down the right path, but it's a new, like I said, it's a new frontier. So I'm taking it day by day and allowing God to direct me and guide me. The next one is, you never know when something terrible will happen. But this is one of the realities of life. Bad things happen to everyone, and you don't know when they are going to happen. These aren't problematic thoughts as long as I'm not looking for something bad to happen at every turn. Okay. And then I had to rate all of my stuck points percentage-wise. So these are the ones that I had from the beginning, like I was saying earlier. Not the result of the survey, but the ones that she wrote down that she thought I needed to work on. So this one was, it happened because I allowed him to get too close to me. I changed that to 20%. I must control everything. I changed that to 0%. Others must be kept at a distance is now 20%. Everything must be locked at all times is now 20%. Everything must be done my way is now 10%. If I'm down, I can't be around others is now 30%. Large groups will always lead to high anxiety is now 25%. I am dirty is now 20%. I must control everything so I won't fail and will feel safe is now 0%. And there's another one it's just too personal. I can't share that one without revealing certain things. The next couple. And then this one is, it's lazy to rest. That was a new one we discovered. That's still about 40%. And I don't believe that about people in general. It's just hard for me to just, if I don't feel well, I feel like I'm not being productive because I need to just lay there and rest and watch TV. And it's just hard for me. But I am definitely better, but I can't put it down as low as the other ones. So it's about 40%. And then we come to control. So I was supposed to focus this whole next one on control. And so I wrote out this thing, which has been a real blessing for me to read and realize about myself. This will show you how far I've come. So I wrote, my current views on control. Control is probably the stronghold I have been able to overcome the most through therapy. For instance, there are some household finance projects I have turned over to my husband without worry. I trust him to handle them, and I don't assume responsibility if mistakes are made. I don't ask my daughter where she's going every time she leaves unless it's necessary regarding transportation, an appointment, etc. I mean, she's 20 years old. I let her make her own decision about whether or not to leave volleyball, and I supported her decision. I realized that prior to therapy, I tried to control literally everything to feel safe and to protect myself and my loved ones from harm. While I may have prevented some things from happening, the overall result was negative. My daughter was negative. I became an overbearing, OCD control freak. This only caused turmoil in my relationship with my daughter and a reduction in intimacy, basically just, feeling comfortable with certain conversations with my husband as far as intimacy goes. My son has always been patient with me, but my relationship with him is even better. I am happier in realizing that everything is in God's hands and my trust is in him. I play my part in being a responsible adult, and I cast my cares on him. Now I am working on being confident and trusting in the decisions he makes about my present and future, but I know it's all up to him. Any attempts I might make to control that will only set me back, and I don't want that to happen. Alright, so that's what's happened, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the comments below, and there's a new one every month. And in my shop, I make vegan traveler's notebooks and accessories for all TNs, and also printables and downloads that you can use in any planner, scrapbook, picture frame, etc. And also be sure and check out my Organized Planner Chic Crew Facebook group, where I create a free coloring page that you can download every month, and I also do frequent giveaways in that group as well. And until next time, everyone, happy planning!